Hi guys, welcome back to Marsha Speaks, voice of Marsha. And thank you for clicking on this video for another review on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. This episode is episode 3, which is called The Apology, and it's season 8. I can say 9. Basically, this episode was after they left Boca and they're back home again. I don't know which one to start off, so I'm just gonna start with random. I remember the first thing was Teresa, Melissa, Joe, and all of them moving the father's stuff into Teresa's house. They didn't have any movers; they did it all themselves. And at that point, that's when Joe got the recap of the whole Boca vacation. I think, of course, Melissa told him already, but whatever. They have to do it again with the cameras. They found out, well, I think she skipped on some stuff because, yeah, I think Joe had a natural reaction. Yeah. So he finds out that Siggy was going pretty nuts and Dolores didn't have their back. And Joe was shocked by that. And I was kind of shocked by that when he says that they've known Dolores for over 20 years. They've known her since they were children, and she's only known Dolores for 1 year. Last season, that's the first time they introduced each other. So, he said, where is this girl's loyalty? That made sense to me too, because there's a difference between you being the neutral party between two friends, and you having that person's back so much to the point that you're looking like a yes man to everybody around you. And unfortunately, that is what Dolores is looking like right now. She's looking like she can't say no to Siggy. She can't see when Siggy does something wrong. It's like I don't get it. It's not that serious, but it's also like, bro, calm down. But anyways, she said, where's this girl's loyalties? We've known her longer, and she had your guys' back, and that's how that scene ends. We find out that Margaret is throwing a launch party for her purse line. I think it was like a makeup purse line for the summer, I think it was, or fall, or whatever. And it's supposed to be done at her house, and her husband is supposed to be renovating the home to make it better. Because of course, her husband was a contractor for the last 2 episodes. She introduced that she left her first husband for the contractor, who's her husband now. So, this is what he does for a living. I'm sorry, the house doesn't look a complete mess, but the renovations aren't completed, and he said he doesn't want any other construction workers to come in his house. And I'm like, yeah, farmer, it's big. This is how you got your wife, and now you have this forever insecurity that your wife is going to leave you for another contractor, because that's how your wife left her first husband for you. So you don't want any contractors in the home. So you got to do everything by yourself. Unfortunately, not fast enough, apparently. Yeah. So that's what's happening with Margaret. She's working on the first launch. She recapped everything to her mom and the employees and blah blah. Margaret then visits Melissa at Envy. And I liked the fact I liked Melissa's interaction with Margaret. I liked the fact that Melissa's willing to learn from Margaret, because she said that Margaret has been in the business longer. Yes, not exactly the same thing, but she can learn a lot from her. And I like that reaction or that perspective, because as a businesswoman, you can't think that you know everything, and definitely when you're learning something new and you have this whole business by yourself now. So I like that. While they were there, Danielle came too, and the 3 of them were talking about how the whole thing that went down in Boca, and Margaret was saying how she is inviting everybody to the launch party. She didn't invite Siggy yet because Siggy has blocked her on social media. So Melissa goes and checks to see if she's also being blocked on social media, and she's not. She can still see Siggy's stuff. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. On camera, it's kind of weird, but behind the scenes, it makes sense, because if Siggy's having beef with anybody, at this point, it makes sense that it would be Margaret first, because she is a newbie. And clearly, Teresa should be the last person she has to fight with, because she can't lose her job. That's serious. Danielle, possibly. But of course, Danielle has a fan base within the Real Housewives franchise. And of course, Melissa is friends with everybody else, and she is the sister-in-law of Teresa, who has her back now. So it made sense that Siggy would be the first person she goes after. If we're thinking about this in a business sense. So from there, the fact that Danielle can stir the pot, but also see what's going on as well, because she was telling Margaret that she thinks Siggy's acting like this towards you because you brought her into the, she brought Margaret into the group, and Margaret didn't have Siggy's back when the whole cake incident went down. Siggy's like, she doesn't care exactly who brought her in, and this is what I'm saying, that Margaret is not Siggy's friend. Like, the way they introduced her was like, oh, this is a friend of Siggy. But let's be honest, no, this is not a friend of Siggy's. Siggy just met this chick too, and this is like a get to know you period. And what she noticed is that something she didn't like. You're too emotional for her. So people need to let go of the fact that Siggy and Margaret are friends. They're not. They were acquaintances at best when they were introduced. That's it. So Margaret contacts Siggy to invite her to the launch party, and Siggy says, I respectfully decline. Because of what happened at Boca. I actually like the fact that I like the fact that Siggy did that way. She didn't say in any rude manner. She did hang up on her. She didn't say in any rude manner. She said, I respectfully decline, and that she is going, and the reason why she's declining. And she's not actually coming to your space or your party to come in with negative vibes. I appreciate that. I don't know if I would have done that. I probably would have went for the food, kept my mouth shut, kept it pushing, but I could buy food at home as well, so whatever. From there, we see Siggy and Teresa go to dinner and talk about what happened in Boca to try to get equal footing again. And they made up. I don't think each one of them officially apologized to each other, but they both have an understanding that everything's better between them, so that was good. Siggy goes in a rant about how much she hates Margaret. I think that's so stupid, because you can't come up. Yes, Margaret did not have your back when you wanted her to. Completely get that. But for you to say that you hate somebody the way with such intensity over something so small, in my opinion, and stupid, for something that you can say, oh, I brought her in, loyalty. You can talk about what you consider friendship and what loyalties rely on, because you're expecting friendship level loyalty to an acquaintance. Doesn't make sense. Or whatever. But yeah, she's saying that that's why she hates Margaret, blah, blah, blah. She can't stand Margaret. She wants to pull the pigtails from her hair, from her head. I'm like, dang, that's just too much. Teresa's looking like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And in her confessional, she said, I don't know if this is psycho Siggy, soggy Siggy, but this is not the Siggy from last season. That's all we know. Because the Siggy from last season was kind of a fresh air. She was the common sense in the group. Like, she was trying to be like hold people down to the ground. And this Siggy is like up in the clouds. Like, she's gone. And I don't know if this is the real Siggy that we're seeing. If last season was a real Siggy that we're seeing. If they're just trying to paint her in a negative light, because again, production, you always have to have the villain of the group. But it was just weird, and I was like, you didn't act like this last year. And I don't know if this is the real you, or production makes you look like that. But at the same time, production can't make you look like anything if you don't give them the footage to make you look bad. So the fact that you keep on saying all this stuff is footage that they're using to make you look bad. So are they really making you look bad? So yeah, from there, so that happened. Everybody's getting ready for the launch party. Dolores decides in the meeting with Siggy and Teresa. Siggy said that she doesn't know if Dolores is going to the launch party. She'll be fine if Dolores does go to the launch party. She doesn't really care about that. But Dolores makes a personal decision not to go to the launch party and stay with Siggy as a loyalty thing. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And while Dolores was talking to to Frankie, like giving him like the rundown about what happened and broken all that stuff. She's making it seem like Margaret came in to try to take Siggy's place in the friend group. And I'm like, I don't think Margaret's trying to do any of that. I think you didn't give a good defense for your friend, and now you're just making up nonsense. Because when she was talking to Frankie, she was saying that she like reworded what Siggy was saying in a nicer way. Because I feel like and then of course, she said that Margaret had no loyalties, and of course Frank's advice was that you should treat her accordingly. And I'm like, not a really good advice if you knew the full story. But again, do we really know the full story when we're getting information from people? Because I feel like if Frank understood and got everything that Siggy was saying and everything that Melissa and Dolores and everybody was saying, the full situation, I think he would have gave a completely different advice. At least that's my opinion. Anyways, moving forward, they are all going to the launch party. Melissa and Joe, they she's getting glammed up, and Joe gets like, he's funny. He's really confident in his masculinity because the makeup artist, who's a homosexual male, was doing Melissa's makeup, and Joe comes in. He's like, "Oh, you're doing your makeup?" He's like, "When do I not do my makeup for fun?" Like, yeah, and Melissa's always looked good since season 1, so clearly she's had professional help. And the makeup artist was making a joke about how Joe should take it off, and Joe said, "Oh, how much do you want to see?" Or something like to that effect. And I was like, "You see, that is a man comfortable in his masculinity." And yeah, that was kind of funny. Joe does not want to go, but in the end, he decides to go for his wife. While they were there, I know I'm bouncing around. Joe and Melissa were talking about like the loss of the mother and how Joe's really not taking it that well. He's like kind of like low-key shutting down. And Melissa was saying how when her father died, it's not something that you will forget. But if you keep on working, you keep on moving, you keep on doing stuff, you keep on living, it will hurt less eventually, and you'll be able to move on with your life. You won't forget that your parent is not there clearly, but you'll be able to continue living. And I guess Joe took that a little too close to heart because he ends up like buying this whole new restaurant, which was already a pre-existing restaurant, but he bought it in the style of his. And I was like, dang. And he did this without telling Melissa. He told the father before he told Melissa. I think he told Teresa before, because I think it'd be like a family run restaurant. So he told Teresa before he told Melissa my opinion. And the way he told Melissa is by like them going on like a dinner, lunch, date, whatever. And yeah, they went on a lunch date, and Melissa's thinking that, oh, we're just going to this pizza place or this Italian food place just to, catch up and blah blah. But no, Joe was telling her that he actually bought the restaurant without like ever telling her anything. Oh, she's partially worried about the business flopping because running and owning a restaurant is hard work, and I think like restaurants like close when they're like been open and stuff like that within the first couple of years. So it is really hard to run a restaurant, and she's really pissed because when she was trying to do Envy and bring Envy to life, she said that I consulted you. I told you every step of the way what was going on, and you didn't give me that courtesy. Also, when you were doing Envy, you were very douchish, and you weren't helping, and you were being very combative about the idea. Now, the other way is flipped. You buy this restaurant, and you don't even tell me about it at all. And if you told me in advance, my reaction to seeing the restaurant would have been completely different. And I agree, because to me, it seemed she's more upset about the fact that you didn't tell me about this business venture than about the fact of you actually doing the business venture. And Joe said that he did it because he wanted something that his father can look forward to doing. His father can like share the recipes, help run the restaurant, all that stuff. So I think he kind of used it as a cop out, but I also understand that that's probably really was the reason why he was doing it. and for himself as well. So I completely understand. So moving forward from that, they are at the party for Margaret. Margaret, and like before the party started, Margaret's stove wasn't working. Like everything was looking a hot mess. Her hair was in rollers, but then her hair was in rollers. But when you're at the party, you still have the pigtails. Why was her hair in rollers? Was to try to get volume at the base? Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. So they were doing that, and when the party started, everything looks nice. I don't know how she fixed it. Maybe they went to a completely different room from the room that was being renovated. But the house looks nice. The decorations were beautiful. She put confetti all over the place to try to cover that some stuff weren't done. Okay, good move. Her neighbor, which is also her friend, um, allowed them to use her stove to heat up the food. So that's like all the problems that were happening before the party was getting solved. Um, all the girls were there except for Siggy and Dolores. And what are Siggy and Dolores doing? They are at Siggy's house having a slumber party. I think it's an anti-Margaret party, but whatever. It's a slumber party. And it was actually kind of funny, the dance that she came up with. When it's like, oh my god, there's a cake, and they ducked. That was hilarious. I don't care what nobody says. That was funny. They were talking too much ish, in my opinion. While they were back to the party, Margaret, and everybody else, Margaret, Teresa, Melissa, and Danielle, go to different rooms to discuss what happened in Boca. This time, again, she is being the bigger person. I can't say that she's being the bigger person. She's being the bigger person. She sends a text message to Siggy to meet up for food and discuss what happened at Boca so they can move forward. She doesn't understand how they got to this position. Okay. And when now like the cameras are with Siggy and Dolores, you see Siggy's reaction to the text message. She said that she shaded her, which she did. In the text message, she said that the friends that you introduced me to is here, but you're not here. Shade, top that. Two, A2. B, Siggy was not as mad as Dolores was when she got the message. Dolores said no, she's not being genuine. The only reason why she's doing that is because the people around her telling her to text you and make up and blah blah, which is true. That I think that is why she did it. But that doesn't change the fact that she's still sending out the olive bench, and you'll be here pressing concerned for what? I don't know. Like, you seem more upset than Siggy is. Siggy seems like the type of person, like, yes, she'll be mad at you, but she's just as quickly able to forgive you and move on. So I'm confused as to why you're so pressed and concerned, and why Siggy's over here acting normal. Like, can you see the sun from where inside her butt is? Like, I don't get it. Can you see the sun? Like, is it darkness like it is right here? When you see, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, as a good friend, if your friend is not as bad, then you should just back up and just say, okay, I'll still be mad, but I won't express it because you seem to have moved on, and I'll work on being moved on as well. I think at that point, Dolores is threatened by the fact that Margaret could possibly become Siggy's friend, and what would her position in life be? I don't know. We are moving forward. So from there, it's the next day. I think it's like literally the next morning, and when they meet up and they go to this diner. It looks like a family-owned diner. It was like really good, and it's very close. Like the tables are very close to each other, and they're talking about how Siggy does not appreciate that Margaret called her soggy Siggy, and then Margaret in the fresh was like, I could call you saggy, like, but I didn't. I called you soggy. That's not really as offensive comeback than I could have given you, which is true. Because let's be serious, Melissa has been called worse than soggy. But I guess maybe that's something in Siggy's past, having her name flipped as a way to like people attacking her, possibly. But hey, they in the end, fast forward, people look at them crazy because they're yelling and talking to each other. Not yelling, but they're talking very loudly to each other, and it's not quiet, but it's a close setting. So people look at them like they're crazy. They finally do make up when, of course, Siggy starts crying, and Margaret realizing that, oh my gosh, I'm making a grown woman cry. She's like, yes, my sense of humor can be very dry and blah blah, but that's who I am, and I never meant for you to actually hurt your feelings or to hurt any woman. Like, that's not me. That's not what I do. This, that, and the third, which I agree. I don't think Margaret. I think that the dry humor is Margaret's personality. I don't think she purposely was saying stuff or doing stuff to hurt Siggy's feelings. I just think that that's what came across. From there, what happened? They were like arguing about who knew Jones River more. Woman is dead. She can't confirm or deny any of these allegations that you're saying. So yeah, moving forward. So yeah, they make up. Everything's great. Everything happens. Everything's blah blah blah. Copacetic. Siggy just said that when they move forward, she's gonna keep Margaret at a distance until she can know for sure that she can bring her closer, which is understandable. That's how the episode ended. Them reconciling and everything getting better. Let me know if you are really messing with Dolores right now, because I think Dolores is doing the most. Let me know what you think in that next episode. I did watch the previews for this one. Normally I don't. Like for The Good Doctor, I don't watch the previews. I just or the promo. I just make a prediction and hopefully it happens. But I do watch the predictions for the Real Housewives stuff. So in the promo, it shows Dolores going off on Danielle. I don't know what they're going off on. My prediction for next episode is Teresa and Melissa, like their fallout start, because I think Teresa was saying something about how like the restaurant is like a family, or that Melissa is just a boy girl by marriage or something like that. I don't know. Maybe Melissa takes the right way or the wrong way, because you have to get the full context of that situation. I think that's gonna be the start of the fallout. I think they're gonna start questioning Dolores about her loyalty to them in her face, because they've been saying it a lot in the confessionals and to each other, but never in front of Dolores. But I don't think Dolores has really left Siggy's side much for them to say to her face. So I would like to see more of this alleged boyfriend that Dolores has, who's an OBGYN, who was on scene on camera like once, and that's it. Like, I'm gonna need to see a little bit more. Give me a little bit more about that. Teresa and Melissa, yeah, they're gonna have to call out. I think they're gonna see Melissa a little bit more about envy and how Melissa's gonna start working with Margaret to get more ideas, or possibly have some of Margaret's line be in Envy and stuff like that, and how she can network and brand more for Envy. That's a possibility. I think for Dolores, I think her whole storyline is gonna be either the Siggy thing, or it's gonna be her son not going to college. I kind of wish Dolores talks to her son and finds out why he didn't do the application on time, instead of just talking about how he didn't do the application on time. There has to be a reason why. Like, there has to be a reason why your son didn't do something that every other person always does, you know? So that's the Dolores. I think Siggy is gonna have a conversation with her husband finally about like wanting to cut back, and maybe her husband will tell her like, okay, I'm not saying I want you to stop, I just want you to cut back because you're doing so much. That's a possibility. Danielle, I want to see more of her fiance and her kids, even though she's a friend of the show now. I think the original way they were gonna cut it, you saw more of them, but now that she's just a friend of the show, you're seeing less of them. But I think her fiance looks good. So from on the screen, bro, like, I don't understand. So that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. And I will see you in the next video.